Sarah's SUV rattled along the dirt road, the pines closing in like silent sentinels. After a year of deadlines and city noise, the remote cabin in northern Maine was her salvation. A friend's inherited retreat, offered for a week of solitude. No Wi-Fi, no cell service, just her, a notebook, and the promise of silence. The lake appeared first, its surface shrouded in mist reflecting the gray sky. The cabin sat on its shore, a weathered wooden structure with a slanted roof and a porch overlooking the water. It was perfect, almost too perfect. She unloaded her bags, the air crisp with the scent of pine and damp earth. Inside, the cabin was sparse but cozy. A stone fireplace, a creaky wooden table, and a ladder to a loft bedroom. The windows framed the lake, where the mist seemed to pulse, curling like fingers over the water. Sarah smiled, already imagining quiet mornings with coffee and her journal. As she unpacked, she explored the cabin, finding a trap door in the kitchen floor leading to a basement. Curiosity piqued, she descended the rickety stairs, her flashlight revealing a damp concrete room with shelves of dusty canning jars. In the corner, a rusted metal hatch was bolted shut, its padlock pitted with age. She tugged at it, but it didn't budge. A faint hum like a distant engine vibrated through the floor. She froze, listening, but it stopped as abruptly as it began. Probably just old pipes, she told herself, climbing back upstairs. That night, she lit a fire and settled on the couch with a cup of tea. The silence was profound, broken only by the crackle of logs. But as she flipped through a book, she noticed something under the couch cushion. A leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed. The first entry, dated 1973, was in spidery handwriting. The hollow calls. Don't stay too long or it'll keep you. Sarah frowned, the words unsettling. She chalked it up to a quirky former guest. But as she drifted to sleep, the hum returned, low and insistent, seeping into her dreams. The next morning, Sarah woke to sunlight filtering through the pines, the lake gleaming like polished glass. The journal's warning lingered, but she pushed it aside, eager to explore. She packed a backpack and followed a trail into the forest, the trees towering overhead, their branches knitting a canopy that dimmed the sun. The air was cool, the ground soft with pine needles. But something felt off. No birds sang, no squirrels skittered. The forest was still, as if holding its breath. She found a narrow path leading to an old dock, its wood splintered and sagging into the lake. There, on a nearby tree, she spotted carvings, spirals and jagged lines freshly etched into the bark. They weren't random, they felt deliberate, like a message. She snapped a photo, her unease growing. As she turned back, a gust of wind carried a sound. Faint, distorted voices, like a radio tuned between stations. She strained to listen, but the words were unintelligible, fading into the rustle of leaves. Back at the cabin, the hum from the basement was louder, a steady pulse that vibrated through the floorboards. Sarah tried to distract herself with dinner, but the journal's words gnawed at her. She read more, each entry more frantic. It watches from the lake. It knows I'm here. She slammed the book shut, her heart racing. That night, as she washed dishes, she glanced out the window. A silhouette stood at the forest's edge, tall, impossibly thin, its head tilted unnaturally. She blinked, and it was gone, but her pulse thundered. She locked the doors, checked the windows, and sat by the fire, clutching a poker. The hum grew louder, and when she checked the basement, the hatch was slightly ajar, its padlock dangling. Sleep was impossible. The silhouette, the journal, the hum, it was too much. By morning, Sarah's curiosity outweighed her fear. She grabbed a crowbar and descended to the basement, the air heavy with mildew. The hatch creaked as she pried it open, revealing a stone staircase descending into darkness. The hum was deafening now, a low throb that pulsed in her chest. She hesitated, then stepped down, her flashlight casting jittery shadows. The staircase led to a tunnel, its walls slick with moisture and covered in the same spiral carvings she'd seen on the trees. Strange, root-like growths pulsed faintly, as if alive. The air grew thicker, her breaths shallow. At the tunnel's end, she found a cavernous room filled with rusted machinery. Gears and pipes connected to a central device, its surface etched with symbols. It was the source of the hum, vibrating with an unnatural energy. The journal's final entry flashed in her mind. The hollow is alive. It wants a voice. Voices echoed around her, clearer now, whispering, "Stay and join." Her flashlight flickered, and in its beam she saw it. A figure, tall and eyeless, its face a distorted mirror of her own. It reached out, its fingers brushing her arm, cold and wrong. She screamed, stumbling back, the voices swelling into a cacophony. She ran, the tunnel twisting, the roots seeming to writhe. When she reached the hatch, she slammed it shut, her hands shaking. The journal lay open on the kitchen table, its pages now blank. A storm rolled in that night, thunder shaking the cabin as rain lashed the windows. Sarah tried to pack, but the figure was inside now, standing in the corner, mimicking her movements, its eyeless face tilted, as if studying her. She grabbed the journal and threw it into the fire, the pages curling into ash. The hum grew deafening, rattling the windows. She ran outside, the storm soaking her as she sprinted to her car. The dirt road was a muddy quagmire, and as she drove, the trees seemed to lean closer, the road looping back to the cabin. The voices returned, not threatening but pleading. "Leave yourself behind." She glanced in the rearview mirror, and her reflection's eyes were wrong. Black, hollow. Panic surged. She floored the gas, the car skidding through the mud until the trees thinned and the road straightened. She didn't stop until she reached a gas station, the storm fading behind her. Days later, safe in her apartment, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed her. She avoided mirrors, but when she finally looked, her eyes flickered. Hers, then not. The hum was gone, but the silence was worse. Whatever was in that hollow, it hadn't let her go.